Hello there, how you doing? Jeff T. Socio, AIMCBizSolutions.com with your AMC marketing tip of the week. So, yep, I'm gonna miss something right here. I'm old, right? I'm in my 50s. But I remember back in the days before we had these and all this social media and all these ways to quickly engage with each other, whether it's meetup groups online, even with the use of AI today here in 2025 and all that. But what we're also seeing is we're kind of going down a rabbit hole as professionals because we're utilizing tools too many times. So I'm going to bring us back a few years. I'm going to bring us back 30 years and why you need to network like it's 1995. Yep, there was some good music out back in those days. There was a lot more interaction. The bars were packed back then. Things were packed in person. It's a call, what we're basically saying here, it's a call to return the fundamentals of in-person relationship building networking. That's why I've been running my networking group for 13 years and I continue to run it, is it builds up relationship-based networking before the ubiquity of social media and digital first connections. And how many LinkedIn connections can I get in one day? What it does is it authenticates face-to-face interactions that build deeper, more meaningful professional relationships. Nothing like seeing somebody on a regular basis and building a relationship with them. So you're focusing on deeper connections. And I see this a lot. Even at my events, folks are trying to include me as many business cards as possible and then go back online and then build the relationship online. There's no leverage there. The 1995 approach prioritizes a small, high-quality network of active advocates. That's why sometimes I always like a smaller networking event for that reason, because you're actually really having that personal interaction. There's that authentic engagement. You have genuine conversations, resource sharing, without the immediate pressure of a transactional goal. So many people go to events with the case of closing transactions, asking for a job. I need a job. I need business, which is awful. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sorry. But that approach does not really build a lot of trust and mutual benefit over time. So you want to have genuine, authentic conversations before you get there. Nothing like 1995, the personal touch. There was no digital communication back then, right? I'm going to give you a little tip here for you young folks out there, right? 1995, I would meet somebody at an event or even at a venue. I would shake their hands. How you doing? I'm Jeff. I would write their phone number on a piece of paper, and then when I get home, I will give them a call. That was social media in 1995. Right? So if I wanted to meet them again, I would have to go to a coffee shop to meet them and shake their hands. Personal interaction. There's no LinkedIn, no Facebook, no Instagram, none of that there. You have to do that. I know it sounds, you're like, wow, that was very manual. I had to go to a payphone. I had to go find something to call somebody. Email was coming out. Email was obviously around then, but that was about the extent of the electronic communications. Right? So you want that personal touch, that personal outreach. It makes things more memorable and impactful. Right? The last thing, you want to leverage existing relationships. We didn't have massive online databases like LinkedIn back then. We relied on former colleagues and personal referrals. Recognizing individuals know things and provide valuable, warm introductions. You want to prioritize human connection. That's the biggest, I would say, the biggest thing I've seen in the world of networking here in 2025 versus 1995. This is a testament to my dad. He was in sales, and he had this restaurant. This is a little quick story. Twin Oaks in Cranston. If you're down in the province area, you probably know Twin Oaks. And we went there for dinner about a couple weeks ago, and I remembered him. He would be at the bar, shaking people's hands and making connections at the bar, shaking people's hands, not connecting to them on LinkedIn or pull out your phone, let's connect. It was genuine. So let's do this. Let's bring 2026 back to 1995. You'll see that not only you will have some genuine connections, but even your mental health will be a lot better. So that is it. Have a good day. Jeff D, AIMCBizSolutions.com, Mass Professional Networking. Have a good day.